Picture a country frozen in time, a place where the outside world is just a whisper. This isn't some dystopian novel. It's North Korea. How does a nation keep its people in the dark when the rest of the world is connected 24/7? Today we're pulling back the Iron Curtain on the most isolated country on Earth. Buckle up as we uncover how North Korea is designed to control every breath its citizens take. North Korea isn't just a country. It's a massive, ongoing social experiment. Its people? They're not citizens. They're unwitting test subjects in a grand scheme of control. Let's start with the backbone of this system, Juche. It's not just some obscure political theory. It's the foundation of everything in North Korea. Juche preaches self-reliance and extreme nationalism. But don't be fooled. It's really a sophisticated tool for control, designed to keep people dependent on the state while thinking they're independent. At the top of this pyramid sits the Kim family. But they're not just leaders. In North Korea, they're gods. Every home must have pictures of the Kims. Not hanging them isn't just frowned upon, it's a crime. Imagine being thrown in jail because your wall decor isn't patriotic enough. That's daily life in North Korea. But the control goes deeper, way deeper. Enter Songbun, North Korea's twisted version of a caste system. Your Songbun determines everything: your job, where you live, what you eat, even who you can marry. Here's the real kicker. It's based on what your great-grandparents did. Did your great-grandfather fight for the wrong side in the Korean War? Tough luck. You and your kids are stuck at the bottom of the heap. It's like being punished for a crime you didn't even know existed. Now let's talk about information. Or rather, the lack of it. North Korea has its own intranet. Not internet, intranet. It's a closed system with only government-approved content. Imagine never seeing a cat video. Never Googling a random fact at 3 a.m. Never connecting with someone on the other side of the world. That's life in North Korea. But it's not just about blocking information from getting in. It's about creating a whole new reality. In North Korea, time itself is different. Their calendars start from the birth of Kim Il-sung. It's not 2024 there. It's Juche 113. They've literally rewritten time to revolve around their leaders. It's like living in an alternate universe where history began with the Kim dynasty. Education in North Korea isn't about learning. It's about programming. Kids don't solve math problems about apples and oranges. They count dead American soldiers. History class? More like mythology class. The Kim family are portrayed as superhuman beings who can control the weather and don't need to use the bathroom. It's not education. It's indoctrination on a massive scale. But control isn't just mental. It's physical, too. Take Pyongyang, the capital. It's designed like a twisted theme park. Fake storefronts, empty streets, choreographed citizens. Only the most loyal get to live there. It's a city-sized propaganda poster, designed to impress the few foreigners allowed to visit and to remind North Koreans of the superiority of their system. The rest of the country? It's a different story. Rural areas are stuck in a time warp. No electricity, no running water, roads that turn to mud when it rains. But here's the thing, people don't complain. Why? Because they don't know any better. To them, this is normal. This is life. You might be thinking, surely some people must see through this? And you're right, some do. But speaking out is a death sentence, not just for you, but for 3 generations of your family. It's called the 3 generations of punishment rule. Your grandkids could pay for your crime of free thinking. It's a brutal way to ensure compliance through fear. But here's where it gets really twisted. North Korea doesn't just punish dissenters, it rewards informants. Kids are encouraged to report on their parents. Neighbors spy on neighbors. Trust is a luxury no one can afford. It's a society where everyone is watching everyone else, and the walls literally have ears. Food is another powerful control mechanism. The government decides who eats and who doesn't. Loyal citizens get more food. Dissenters, they starve. It's as simple and brutal as that. Food isn't a right, it's a reward for obedience. And let's not forget about the labor camps. These aren't your regular prisons. They're small cities where people are worked to death. Some people are born there, live their entire lives there, and die there without ever knowing why they're being punished. It's estimated that hundreds of thousands of people are held in these camps. It's a human rights catastrophe hidden from the world. Perhaps the most effective tool in North Korea's arsenal is isolation. The average North Korean has never met a foreigner. They've never used the internet, never watched a foreign movie, never listened to K-pop or hip-hop. Their entire worldview is shaped by what the government tells them. It's like living in a bubble where the outside world is just a vague concept. But how does North Korea maintain this isolation in the age of smartphones and satellites? They've turned their entire border into a militarized zone. Sensors, guards, landmines. Leaving North Korea is practically impossible. And those who do manage to escape, they often find themselves lost in a world they don't understand, struggling to adapt to freedom after a lifetime of control. The few who are allowed to leave, like diplomats or athletes, are carefully chosen and watched. Their families are essentially held hostage to ensure they return. It's a clever, if cruel, way to prevent defections. Even the language in North Korea is designed for control. Words are carefully chosen and defined by the state. Concepts like human rights or democracy are given twisted meanings. It's like living in a real-world version of George Orwell's 1984, where language itself is a tool of oppression. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of North Korea's design is how it manipulates emotions. The regime doesn't just rule through fear, it also manufactures love and devotion. From birth, North Koreans are taught to love their leaders with a religious fervor. Crying at Kim Jong-il's funeral wasn't just expected. Not crying enough could get you in trouble. It's emotional manipulation on a national scale. The design of North Korea extends to its economy too. The country operates on a centrally planned system where the state controls all aspects of production and distribution. There's no free market, no private enterprise. Everything from the shoes on your feet to the rice in your bowl comes from the state. This economic model gives the government ultimate control over people's livelihoods. Even leisure time is regulated. The regime decides what music you can listen to, what TV shows you can watch, and what books you can read. All forms of entertainment are carefully crafted propaganda tools. They're designed to reinforce the state's narrative and keep people's minds occupied with approved thoughts. Healthcare in North Korea is another means of control. The system is designed to prioritize party members and military personnel. Ordinary citizens often lack access to basic medical care. This creates a situation where loyalty to the regime can literally be a matter of life and death. So there you have it. A country designed from the ground up to control its people. A place where reality is whatever the government says it is. But here's a question to keep you up at night. If North Korea can do this with outdated technology, what could a country do with today's advanced tech? And are we sure it's not already happening somewhere else, maybe in more subtle ways? Next time you scroll through your carefully curated social media feed or let an algorithm decide what news you see, think about that. The lines between freedom and control might be blurrier than we think. In a world where data is the new currency, are we really as free as we believe?